Good morning, everyone. I am Darkpool Algo, and thank you for joining me on another morning watchlist building session. Yes, we're still a little echoey. I've not been able to get the sound material up, so my voice is still bouncing off of a wall. Okay, a couple things to keep in mind. We have a market that is going crazy. Actually, didn't look at the market till right now, so what we're going through is live and in living color. I have not made any changes to anything. And all right, audio check and chat check, and then we'll jump right into it. We got a lot of things to cover today, and we will just jump right into it. We do have all right, today's Tuesday, March 8th, 2022, and it is a crazy volatile market. All right, haven't quite been able to get back in my normal routine, so my sleep schedule's off a little bit, and I think that is actually probably a pretty good thing. 4,200, huh? 4,200 is the line in the sand. We break that, and we going down, down, down. A little JB song wrapping around in my head for a minute. Okay. Ugh. Crazy couple days. Let's just jump right into it. Let me get my charts loaded up here. Yes, here. We need this guy. I'm checking in on Ethereum, and that's not too bad, I guess. Not too bad. Off of some support. I'm gonna check on Bitcoin real quick as well. Bitcoin, higher high, higher low, up, support, up. All right, not too bad. But I do want to check out Apple today. If anything's going to rip, I think it's probably going to be Apple. They're having a product launch and introducing a couple new products. I think that might be bullish for the Apple off of the daily bottom, 4-hour bottom. I'm not seeing anything big, maybe 165 max, right? And that's assuming we get out of these dailies. We are getting ready to start a downtrend though, so let's not get too jumpy on that. What is all right? Bed Bath & Beyond had the major short squeeze yesterday. It came back down to sell right around 20. Glad we didn't trade it, because guess what? It would have took our lunch money. I was thinking about maybe shorting it, but yeah, I chose not to. I did play QQQ yesterday for the win. Wow, I had the 330s. Those went so deep in the money. Holy cow. I got out about right here. I got out at about 330. Those went to 323. They went $7 in the money. Oh man, I would have been rich. I had 3 contracts at 84 cents. Morning, Johnny. Morning, Terry. All right, let's get into it. A little bit of news to cover, and we're going to use... Where's my chart? There it is, right there. There's a magical chart of magical charts. Apple, new product launch today, expecting to introduce a 5G budget-friendly phone. iPhone, new iPad, top expectations are at its product event later today. That budget-friendly iPhone, that's really going to help. This is a funky pattern. If we look at it in a grander scheme of things, it's kind of a big old rolling H. Yesterday, they fell off with the rest of the market. They did hold the daily bottom, right, which was here. Big pop, little rip back down. So they ripped up, back tested the 4-hour bottom. So if they can do one of these moves, right, rally to the 34, which would also be yesterday's highs, 4-hour mid, weekly mid, monthly mid, 4-hour top. That's the trajectory for Apple. Coming around slingshot squeeze. It's setting up to be a little long today. I'm not super bullish in this market at all, but I do believe stocks need to they have to move up and down. They can't just be flat. Well, they can, but we'd prefer them not to be flat. And I knew there was one thing I forgot to put up here, and it's this sucker here. All right. Get this loaded over in this general area. And all right, so predictions for Apple today would be if they hold for our bottom, if they back test, so a little pullback or an open right around 160, breakout of 160.81 for a move to 163.50, 165, 167. That's a longer term move. Short term, I'm looking at Apple at 164. Like I said, 164. Above that's going to be gravy. Okay. All right. Telecom Italia shares rose after Italian newspaper reported that the U.S. and the KKR were still interested in a takeover deal, albeit at a lower price. KKR could confirm its interest in a deal, but at a price around 40 euros per share, 0.40 euros per share. No, nothing to do with that. Google confirmed a late day report yesterday by the information saying it will acquire cybersecurity firm Mandiant at a 5.4 billion deal. All right. MNDT. That company should rip. Yeah, that's a big one. You get acquired by Google, your shares are going to rise. Value at 23 a share, so they're not going to go above 23. So it's max out, right? This is a dead play. Like, you might be able to get $1 or so out of it, but Google's saying we'll give you 23 a share. Why would buyers come in at 24? Does that make sense? Okay, so keep an eye on Google and MNDT. Google, death by million paper cuts. We do have a slingshot squeeze getting ready to happen. Ready and Fire's getting ready to roll over. Give me my stochastic. Give me that stochastic. Give me that stochastic. There we go. Okay, I feel you, Google. I see what you're doing here. I'm seeing what you're doing. So, weekly bottom. We're in daily bottom cloud that runs. Daily bottom cloud runs 25.25 to 25.67. All right, but we're in a massive weekly cloud as well. So if we backtest here and we fail, if for some reason Google does go lower, we do have support coming in at 24.60 to the downside. If it does a reversal and forms a nice inverse head and shoulders on the 15, we could see rallies to 25.46, 25.67, and possibly 25.80 before we get some pullback and then continuation. Okay, everything's setting up for Google to at least get a little bit of a pop today. I would keep an eye on previous days VWAP as a guide, which is coming in at 25.50. Right? Yeah. Lots of work to get up, less resistance to go down. Right? However, everything's getting ready to kind of reverse. So, like I said, any short pops that we get into Google, I would definitely be interested in, maybe 2,600. That would be a big move. So Google, you go long above 25.50, move to 25.60, 2,600 target above that. 26.50 is about the most I would try to go. We do have a 250 right here at 26.40. So 26.40 is going to be a key decision-making area for Google. Okay. That can't be right. Is it? Where's that low from? Oh, we made a new low. Let me do this. There we go. Ooh, that lines up well. Multiple attempts. Ooh, that's a nasty zone right there. 2,700. Oh, crack the neck. Oops, sorry. I know that was loud. You want to look at BBBY? Bro, it's dead play. It's over. It only happens. It happens. legit. Check this out. There's a company called As Inc. And it's not a Hollywood company. It's in the metal business. That's interesting. All right. As Inc. entered in a definitive agreement to acquire Sequoia's Precoat metal business for division for purchase of approximately $1.2 billion. I like that As. Dude, it's a $50 stock? That's crazy. So all materials are going to be bullish, right? Well, most of them. So if we can reclaim the 50-day at 50, we can look for a move up to about 52, 53 on As. In healthcare, Voyager Therapeutics, VYGR, shares are up 15% after a deal with Novartis. Right, a little penny stock ripper dipper. Novartis came in, said that they're going to buy their RNA technology. I wouldn't. Oh man, you want to try to catch a dead cat bounce? There you go. Jeez. Today was dividend, or yesterday. Oh, today was dividend day. Yeah, I'd stay away from Novartis for a little bit. In financials, Discover jumping on the boat. Jumps on the boat with MasterCard and Visa. Suspends its actions to pursue registration in Russia. They're like, nope, we don't want to be in there. Talk about a $100 psychological level. Potential 110 move, right? Weekly bottom, retest the 4-hour bottom. 21 day, 109, 110. So basically 111 upside target below that. So if we break below 100 on Discover, we hit 98 pretty quickly, and there's nothing to help us down until about 78. Okay. All right. In energy, OPEC officials met U.S. shell company executives on the sidelines of the CERAWeek conference in Houston on Monday as energy prices soared over supply concerns. It was at least the fourth time since 2017 that the U.S. shale oil producers and OPEC officials have had such meetings to discuss energy concerns. Shell specifically said it intends to withdraw from Russian oil and gas in a phased manner in response to the invasion, including immediately halting all spot market purchases of Russian crude. All right, so it's amazing that this is actually lower and has room to move up. Interesting. So weekly cloud, let's go daily mid 53.25. Weekly cloud move from the bottom of the cloud to the top of the cloud is 54.21. It's going to use this 200-day for support. So below, it's got to maintain 52.25 for that move. Okay. 9 none of those we don't. Oh, Oxy downgraded to neutral from buy at Bank of America. Why? Because of the move it had last week, right? There was news on it. It sold off. It fell hard yesterday, 64 to 50. $10 move, $10 downside move for a stock that normally moves about $1 or $2 a day. However, look at this. We did hold, right? We did hold the 13-period EMA, right? And the 4-hour top. We're going to look for a bounce. So longs above 57 for a move back towards 63. Okay. So let's definitely keep an eye on. We have a dividend day coming up too, so get a rally into that. Oxy looks pretty decent. I'm going to go ahead and Oxy longs support at I got support coming in at 50. 54.56 is kind of that line in the sand, right? That's there. We need to maintain that. There could be quick flushes down to 52.72, and that would be the 21-day on right there. So if we can support that little micro demand zone, this looks pretty bullish, by the way. So OXY, let's see what the FlowTrade has to say about it. Yeah. Trading with the flow index, maintaining trendline support, 58 target, dark pull at 55, dark pulls at 55.38, 55.77, immediate resistance at 56. Above that, it's a pretty quick move up to 58. Okay, and that's OXY. All right, moving on to what's next. How did this sucker do? Clarus Corp. We don't even trade that. World news. Iran will not back down on its red lines in the nuclear talks with Western powers. Please don't get Iran involved in this, because then we would be involved in a conflict while Russia is doing its thing. No, it's a bueno. Oh, China's household leverage ratio rose to 72.2% in 2021 from 33.8% in 2012. The central bank said on Tuesday China's corporate leverage ratio was at 153.7%. That is a big bunch of numbers. We do have a bunch of events today. China's CPI and PPI for February is going to be coming out. Lots of virtual conferences in California and in Vegas, JP Morgan Gaming Lodge and Resort and Leisure. Okay. Earnings after the close. We have, okay, so Sumo, which is, I believe, Sumo Logic, which is a company that I do work for. Yep. Don't tell them. Anyway, MDB, Mongo database. That should be a good earnings. Stitch Fix has earnings today after the close. Okay. Right. Stitch Fix is $10. Let's go, baby. Bumble. How is Snapchat doing? Is it cheap yet? Ooh, let's go. I like Snapchat. What's Twitter doing? Twitter. You can tell it's been a long time since I traded anything besides Apple, Nvidia, Google, AMD, and Tesla. Like, what are these stocks doing? All right, earnings before the bell. Woof. Right, it should be a penny stock. Oh, look at that. Nice, decent earnings. It's actually, look at that range. Right? 1750 to 1820. That's a pretty, right? You can make a little money off of that consistently. Anyway, they've got earnings today. Economic calendar for today. NFIB business optimism for February. ICSC weekly retail sales. International trade for January. Johnson Redbook weekly sales. Wholesale inventory month over month for January. And API weekly data inventory. Will any of those affect the market? Right? Not really. Going into tomorrow, though, right? Jolt's jobs opening, crude and oil inventories should be this right here. It's going to be big, and so is this right here, right? This one and this one. This will happen, right? Lows of, like, this is jobs openings, right? This is like, hey, how many jobs are open, right? We want to see that decrease, right? People actually buying, getting jobs, or increase. Whoa. China is willing to work with Europe on Ukraine, according to XI. What is this? Let me check this out. That's news. How did we miss that? Okay. I've got different news sources too. I'm trying to figure out what's best. Like, obviously, you got some Benzinga Pro, right? Cat's up. And I'm just trying to figure out the best way to use this tool, right? Lots and lots of SPY stuff yesterday. The SPY stuff, it looks like they're all puts. $415, $418 puts on SPY, right? Lots of those. $415, $418 puts on SPY. Tons and tons and tons. QQQ. Ooh, calls. $329. All right. Oh, those are all puts as well. It looks like they're doing. Where do I want this? It looks like they're doing some straddles on QQQ. IWM puts, calls. Yeah, I don't know. I've got to try to figure out. I think I did the what's moving scanner. Well, let's try that. Anyway, we'll get in. I don't know. I've got mixed emotions on it, so I may be looking for additional tools. Okay. All right. Yesterday, oh, that was a crazy day. All right. I am so mad at myself. Did I show you the QQQ puts? If you follow me on Twitter, you would have seen that I got in some QQQ puts yesterday at about here. I sold here. They went to here. They were same day, so that's why I closed them out early, because you don't screw around with same. You don't zero day, or you just can't mess around with it. You just got to get in and get out of those suckers really quick. All right, sorry, I'm really tired. I'm trying this stupid energy drink here. This guy, this A thing, 300 milligram natural caffeine. What's that? Well, whatever it is, it's not working. S&P futures rebound. What? They rebound. Let me see what you mean by rebound. That doesn't look like a rebound to me. Are they thinking from the massive drop yesterday? I mean, yeah. We officially are in a bear market with the Russell and the Nasdaq. I think the Dow is next, and then the ES, right? This 50-day is ruthless. Their 200-day is ruthless on the 10-minute. Maybe some more small cap rotation. Let's look for that. So far, I mean, we like to see bonds down, yen down, right? But gold and crude are up still. They're chopping. S&P futures rebounded mid off a sharp recovery off of overnight lows, while the Treasury yields rebound with the 10-year at 1.845. Okay, or 1.845, yeah, off overnight lows. Though fears of global recession giving surge in economies and rising interest rates remain a concern, reports that the UA was rolling out a plan to issue bonds on a grand scale to finance energy and defense to deal with the Ukraine situation helped elevate some market concerns overnight. The S&P 500 plunged 3% for its worst day since October 2022. Yep, that was a massive day yesterday. And I was out within the first hour and a half. I was like, I'm out. Yes, I miss big moves. I miss big trading, but guess what? I'm consistent. Consistent, right? You can be the tortoise, I'll be the turtle. Oh. The Dow shed 800 points. That's crazy. To join the S&P in a correction trade for the first time in 2 years, it's an absolute brutal day on Wall Street as the S&P and Nasdaq comp each posted their worst day since of 2022. Well, we've only been in it for a couple of months. It was stark and sharply lower as commodity prices surge as the Nasdaq 100 index falls 3.8% to close at its lowest since May 19th, and the Nasdaq closes more than 20% from its November 19th record, confirming a bear market. Yep. The surge in commodity prices over the last year are astounding, raising global inflation concerns, with most of the damage done over the last few weeks as heating oils up 102%, wheat's up 92%, WTI crude is up 81%. You guys remember, I was like, we need to start tracking WTI crude. But, oh well. Natty gas is up 80%, aluminum 75%, corn 38%, cotton 33%, palladium 25%, and Russian invasion of Ukraine enters its 13th day while countries around the world continue to hit Russia with sanctions in response. Overall, world stocks held at a one-year low on Tuesday, while gold climbed above the key $2,000 level. Woo, watchlist. Was it? I swear I was watchlist. It's like, get into gold. But I didn't listen. Sorry, my bad. My bad. It was trading at 1,700. Now it's trading at over 2,000. In Asian markets, the Nikkei index dropped another 1.7%. Sorry, babe. Fell down. Shanghai tumbled 2.35%. Hang Seng declined 1.39%. Gee, many crickets. Hold on. I'm looking at something here real quick. Looking at bus futures. So I want to show you. So this is the indexes, right? This is overnight indexes, right? See, the DAX is up, FTC is up, Italy's up, CAC is up, Asian markets are down, right? So far we're down. We're going to keep an eye on that, right? We will keep an eye on that little sucker right there. In Europe, the DAX is up. I just showed you everything's up. Bitcoin prices edged higher as investors braced for an executive order from Biden that would set out his administration's strategy for dealing with cryptocurrencies in the broader financial markets. That should be interesting. And Apple, corporate news, Apple is expected to introduce a 5G budget-friendly iPhone and a new iPad later today, according to one Twitter post late last night. After the straight day of selling pressure to put this incredible gains over the last few years into perspective, a 20% decline would bring you back to 2021 levels, a 30% decline would bring you back to 2020 levels, and a 40 to 60% decline would bring you back to 2019 levels, and a 70% decline would bring you back to 2017 levels. So back, like basically erasing everything that COVID did, right? It's crazy. Okay, let's get into it. Let's do it. Daily on the ES is coming in. Morning, Orlando. Good morning, Johnny. Good morning, Terry. Good morning, Andrea. Good morning, Serenity now. Yep, and good morning, Orlando. All right, so what do we got cracking off here? Our little move down is being revalidated by a bunch of other traders that I've seen that are like, oh, look at this move down, right? They're all calling this the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 move down. It can't be, because true Elliott wave has got measured moves, and this isn't a measured move. This is just kind of like, well, what it is, right? 1, 2, maybe another down day. We are still really just trading at about not even 1.5, like 1.25 standard deviations away from our regression line. So how does it look on the daily? Well, it's a pretty significant candle down. We're currently forming a nice little doji, right? This could be a reversal candle, right? We haven't hit the 21 day for a long time, so reversion to that would be very interesting. Breaking it down to the 4 hour, right? That 21 is following that line, so we had a 2150 cross down, right? So we have a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Nope, I can't be counted that way either. Well, regardless, we're currently chilling at. I've got way too many fib levels on here. Let me get rid of some of these. I think some of these are worthless. All right, that's the measured move down. We should keep that one, right? So we're just chilling at this skyline. If we can maintain 4203 support, we could move up to 4285. That would be retesting the 21 on the 4 hour. If we reject there, we come back down to this fire line at 4100. Okay, those are big moves. Remember at the beginning of this, we were thinking we were going to chop for a while. Okay, so with this cross down that occurred yesterday, right, there's a lot of bearish pressure. It's trying to maintain 4200. It really is. It wants to be above 4200. However, we have to start looking at, what's this? Oh, that's my circle. We really have to start considering this fire line, previous low, 4100. Can it get there today? We failed the 50 on the 30. We're failing the 21 on the 30. Big moves down. So upside targets 4270, 4285 zone, right? Downside targets below 4185, 4100, okay? And that's on the ES. Bringing it over to the Nasdaq. All right, let me see if I can. I know it's really, really hard to see this, but this is March of 2021, so this is a year ago. Right here's a year ago, okay? So we've just wiped out that entire year's gains. Yes, sir. All right, we are forming a doji. So we have a snow line at 13,465. Another snow line at 2,861. If we reject this, right, the downside move would be down to the snow line. Now this fib level, which I'll get into in a lower time frame chart, like this one here. So I did a fib level from this move to this move yesterday. We hit 50% retracement, so this is no longer a valid fib. Let me get rid of it. All right. 2150 cross down, death, right? These are not good. All the way down to, you guessed it, skyline. Skyline to snowline, snowline to snowline, okay? Last time we were down in this area, we got a nice little bounce back to retest the 21, but we fell down, retest the 21, failed. Down, retest, fail. Down, retest, fail. Or inverse head and shoulder. Get rid of that sucker. It's just we're super bearish right now. Longs above 13,475 for a move to 13,725. Shorts below 13,231. Retest previous lows at 13,098. We have a snowline magnet at 12,860. We could definitely chop between these two levels. Right, let the 21-day catch up with us. It's not looking the greatest. Make sure you keep an eye on the VIX. I think the VIX broke 40. No, VIX couldn't have broke 40. It's impossible. Impossible. I'm sorry, the VIX 3750. Whoo, jeez. That's crazy. The VIX is bullish. All right, regardless, 30-minute, we came back down, tested the skyline, rejected the 50. Trying to make the 21 hold for support on the 30-minute. If we give that up, right, then we can look for skyline to snowline. We get above the 50, we can look at immediate 13,460 resistance. Above that, we breathe a little bit as we move up to the next skyline at 13,830, or let's just call it 13,800, which would be a 200-day test on the 30-minute. Okay, so we're trying to get back above. However, we're in a bear market, so we have to look at this downside target, right? The dilly-dally daily Dow. The dilly-dally daily Dow. How's the Dow doing? The Dow is going down, 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 down. All right. What we got here? Oh, that's a big move down. So 50% retracement. Yeah, we haven't even. Oof. We worked through all support. Oh, this is just ugly. Get rid of that. Okay. We did get a 21,200 or a 50,200 death cross, right? That started yesterday and it's just building today. So the Dow downside targets are 32,116, followed by some trendline support. Let's break this down to a 4-hour so we can get a little bit more granular with it. So 2150 cross down. I would target 32. Let's just say 3,200. Snowline 32,125. If we break down below 32,690, downside move, right? If we were to do a 1, 2, 3 reversal, then we would have to clear the 21-day on the 4-hour to target the 50-day. We've got a fire line right here. Let's target 33,626, right? That's if we can get long. Looking at this on our 30-minute chart. As you can see, it's not looking good for the home team. We dipped. Well, 30-minute doesn't look too bad. Except for this zone is so off. It's throwing me off. It's not accurate. That's why. Let's look at it this way. All right, 30-minute chart. Looks like we're trying to build something. So shorts below. Shorts below 32700, 32500, 32300 downside move. Okay, above above 32,887, overhead resistance coming in at 33,45. 33,045. Possible retest at 20 or the 200 at 33,405. It would take a lot to get there, and still, like, we're still pretty. So we're like, oh, nice trend breakout. Like if I drew that as a channel, right, there's your move. Okay, big nasty H-shaped pattern. Okay, last time we hit the 200, we rejected it. So maybe that type of move happens here, right? Where we're down, we had the 21 come up and test the 50, 21 coming up and testing the 50, price ripped up, rejected the 200. I don't think we get that big of a move, but maybe there's some recovery. The downside move, like I said, we take out some of these lows, we take out that 21 day, we immediately got this 32,700 below that. We fall down. We fall down, skin our knee, and go boom. So stiff. Ugh. All right. Red-headed Russell is kind of following our path pretty decently. Another down day. We're definitely, the 21's kind of flat below the 50. Right in that previous trend line, 50 crossed down. Look at the 50 is kind of moving up towards the 200. So we're going to get a test today of the 5200. If the 50 can get above the 200, we'll get some bullish moves on these small caps. If it bounces or breaks back down, we have to follow. This snow line is a downside target at 1915. Longs above 1962. Retested 21 at 1990. Right, shorts like this downside move to this snow line at 1916. 1915. Okay, there it is. Breaking it down to the 30-minute. Big pop overnight, right? So big pop overnight to bring us above our tree line or our skyline and the 50-day, right? The 50-day failed. The skyline failed. Currently, we're trading below the 21. Okay. We have a previous low at 1948 that if we break, we got a little micro demand zone right here. So there's definitely a move to the. All right, let me just do this. This is irritating. Rally up, 618 retest. Next move up to 1994. If we break this, we have support at 1950, 1948. Below that, 1942. So below 1942, we would make a new low. We come back down to this snow line at 1915. Okay. If we maintain either the 50 or the 618 retracement from this rally today, then we can go and try to make, this skyline here at 1991. I feel like I'm not doing a good job illustrating it. So this is the move we would look to have happen. We would even be willing to go down to here. If that's the case, then we would go probably this general area. Maybe something like that. So 1942 is support. Below that, we have to look at making a new low. 1915. Below that, then we reach this 382 from I don't even know where that came from. Oh, that was from the high to the first low. That's a 382 extension. All right, does that make sense on the Russell? So rotation, Russell, rotation. Small cap rotation. Support. Screenshot that sucker. Okay. All right, moving on to gold. Gold is just doing its thing. It's about to hit its 1-2 extension. 2029? Can you believe that? Jeez. So from this low to this high, this pullback to the 127, right? Remember I said I like this 1414? So we may get a little bit of a pullback. I don't even know. Gold is just ripping faces. All right, as long as the gold can maintain the 50-day on the 30-minute, I think we can start seeing higher highs. If it starts closing below, 2,000 pretty consistently, we could look for support down at 1961. But hey, the 127, it hit it once. Is it retested? I like the 1414 extension at 2058 long on gold. Okay. Next up, we've got crude, which is doing a series of gap up, gap fill, slow melt up. Okay. Snowline 126.96, 130 targets. This tree line right here at 125, 124.75 is the initial magnet. We can get above that, do one of these moves right here where we retest these skylines, right? But if we can get clear the 127 or 126.69 level, then we get up and we start chopping into here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Crude, big moves, though, big moves. 128, 130 targets. Okay. All right, bonds. Bonds have been doing bondish things. Not really. So we didn't quite fill the gap. So we got 157. There's a bond auction today too. So as long as this level of support holds, we can see 158, 161. If we break down below 157, retest 155 pretty easily, even as low as 154. So if we start coming down, right, we break the 50%. We got 153 as a magnet. Remember, that's the daily. Checking it out on the 4-hour. Up and pop, and up and pop. And then finally, the yen, which has been up and down cycling pretty decently. A little inverse head and shoulders here. We got a 2150 crossover. So look for some more movement in the end. That's the end. Big, ugly, nasty move down. All right, we start getting a little bit of curling around. But yeah, this is an inverted head and shoulders for sure. Okay. All right. Do you guys see a similar pattern? These are all different tickers, but they are, I mean, So ES, NQ, YM, and Russell all have the same pattern, right? They're all rejecting that 21. And now the 200. So downside moves are in play. Okay. All right, checking out our favorite stocks, right? I'm not seeing anything that is making me want to go long on any of these. So Apple, even with its big news, rejected the 50 and that tree skyline at 161. 158, below 158, we look at a downside move. AMD rejecting the 21. Google rejecting the 21. Nvidia held the 21, but then failed it. Tesla, same situation, held it and failed it. SPY held it and failed it. QQQ rejected it, and I don't have one on the YM yet, but puts as the name of the game, and that's so ugly. We'll get into that in a minute. All right. So you're saying oil is going to be at $200 a barrel? Okay. All right. Let's get into it. So this is the Smart Money Dark Pool and Black Trade algorithm software provided by FlowTrade. It tracks smart money, large institutions, hedge funds, big boys, right? And what it has done is it's created its own predictive leading algorithm called the Flow Index. Smart money basically gets into positions differently than we do. Just real quick, purple line is a normal algo, green bars are price action, blue lines across the screen are dark pool block trades, red lines are regular block trades, and white lines are a good time. What they really are is where there's a regular and a dark pool block trade that have printed at the same level. So 56.16 for Oxy, right? Maintaining uptrend support, right? A little bit of a rollover. If the algo bounces here, then we could see a new high for Oxy. All right, get me a request. First one up was Johnny. He wants to look at W, which is not doing what we thought it was going to do this week, unfortunately. Let's try this again. BBBY, W, Ford, Tesla. All right. Well, what do we got going on here? So the flow index is just trading with price action right now. Dark pools came in at 21.71. They came in after the close. So if they're selling this, they're going to push it back down to 16. If the dark pools ended up buying this, we have dark pool magnets at 26.35 and 27.35 and 27.90 with regular blocks in between at 24.60 and 25.50. The flow index looks like it's made a move back up. So if this is a recovery, then we're going to make a new high. All right. Looking at 25 on BBBY, right? However, if this dark pool is a bunch of sell orders, like I said, we're going to come back down and fill this gap back down to 16. Okay. All right. Next up is the W, which I thought was going to do better this week than it did because of this nice bullish divergence that got filtered out by this massive pullback yesterday. Okay. Maintaining uptrend. We did get a gap up on Monday. So technically, right, the call out was valid. But since then, we've been stair stepping back down. Dark pool support at 125, regular block support at 125.64. The flow index found some support and made a higher high and a higher low, right? So it's uptrending. 125.64, 125 even. If that breaks, trend line breaks, look for the downside move to 120, 118, and possibly as low as 115. Okay. If the flow index continues to make higher highs and higher lows, then we can see a move up to 130, 131. Trade this zone right here, right? This move from right, this zone move right here. That's what we're looking to have happen here. Okay. Contrarian, if it breaks down, we would look at first target here, right? There's a trading zone down here that goes from there to there. Okay. All right. Oh my gosh. I'm not feeling that energy drink at all. I'm not liking it one bit. Today was Power Day to Manifest Miracles. I'm gonna have to go check that out. All right. In Ford news. So massive amount of block trades in the last 4 days, right? Let's just go last 3 days. We have a white line level. Well, we did. Ford made a new low. So 16. I remember Ford was like 22. It's crazy. The flow index is pointed straight down. So downside targets on Ford would be well, Ford gave up the 200-day. We have high compression squeeze, maybe getting ready to fire long, right? 16. The mean is at 1760, right? Looks like a little double bottom below 16, right? We've got a little bit more support at 1550, but below 1550, we get that wee move down to 14, 13, right? The power of the high compression squeeze. Dark, at 16 support, right? If that breaks, then dollar moves down. Okay. The Tesseract is trading with the flow index, right? The flow index is pulling back. Tesla broke its dark pool support at 807. 800 is pretty significant psychological. If it breaks that, quick flushes down to 780, 760, 725. Wow. That is nasty. And so this block got filled. If they're buying the dip on Tesla, we'll see immediate rip to 830, 835, 840, right? But if they're selling, like I said, we've got like 750, 740. I'm going to look at the, yeah, let's look at some Tesla puts real quick. I'm looking at one thing real quick, okay? Oh, I need this. I'm trying to find some levels for Tesla to the downside. Telling you 740, 711, and 740. That's a crazy big move. Sorry, I'm just looking. I've got some. The 900 calls? Are you absolutely out of your mind? Hold on. Tesla 700 puts are the 950 call. Ooh, 950 calls are 50 cents. All right, so I want to look at the Tesla 900 calls at about a $1.85 to $2. I also want to look at, yeah, I think that's it. The Tesla puts are probably already gobbled up right now, okay? So I don't want to necessarily get into those. Roku, Qualcomm, Moderna calls. So they're buying Netflix. They're buying a lot of Netflix. And so it looks like there's all right. Sorry. I was scouring some data. I know I should have done that first, but like I've got this. I don't even know when I did this. But I feel like it's a pretty good downside target, 776 for a bounce. Tesla 776 is for a bounce. Okay. That seems to line up as well. Trade 804. All right, so the move on Tesla is if we break below previous lows, we've got daily cloud bottom. It's a big cloud that runs 788 to 765 with a weekly cloud in there at 774, which is really close to my 776. So I would say Tesla, if it breaks below yesterday's low and doesn't hold 790, so below 790, we see a move down to 775, possibly as low as 765, right? So also move down to here. If we bounce, right, you could look to go long above 805 to test previous VWAP at 829 and then finally 850. They're saying that 950 calls are at a good level. The 850 calls, let's just look at the 900s. So the Tesla 900s, I'm not thinking that it's going to get there. That would be a good trading opportunity. All right. All right, for our bottom, for our mid, for our mid, for our top. All right, for our bottom rejection, daily bounce. what happens in the next 10 or 15 minutes is going to really determine quite a few things. But negatively stacked moving averages, slingshot squeeze, right? This death cross that occurred yesterday morning, boom, up and back down. It's just a 50% retracement, right? We can go down. Yeah, I like that set 767 target on Tesla. Okay. All right, next up on our list we have DKNG, knee, JPM, Sachs. Did I miss something? DraftKings. All right, well. It looks like divergence, but it's not. It's a flow index trading with price, right? 1825 regular block trade. Those will need to be filled, and I think we get a pump up to about 2050. Contrarian below 1825, sub 17. Okay. In knee news, all the divergences have been played out. This is a good example of how the flow index interacts with dark pools and block trades, right? Those levels. We do have divergence clearly defined here. It is bullish divergence, right? It's about a $3 divergence. So when this starts to reverse and the flow index bounces, look for a move back down to 81.50, right? Let's just call it 81, this regular block. So magnet down, gap fill down to 70 or to 80. Below 80, we've got support at 79. Okay. Watch what the flow index does if it bounces here, right? You start to get a little bit of reversal. But all the other divergences, I mean, the divergence is playing out. So this looks pretty decent, right? I don't know what they do, but if they do reverse, right, no divergences, know that the divergence occurred at approximately 81.50, right? So that's got to play out, and that gap's got to play out as well. Okay. JP Morgan. It's going down, down, down. All right. Currently, dark pool supports at 129, 129, 130, 130.52. Overhead resistance at 130, 180. Okay, the flow index is pulling price straight down with it. This is a triple bottom. If we break down, you gotta pull a fib out from probably here to here and get the retracement. It's just pretty nasty. I'm not super thrilled on like looking at banks or anything, especially going into, right? All miniature divergences have played out, and we'll double bottom. So the flow index is pointing down. So like I said, I think XLF is just going to go down in general. I'll look at SPY and then QQQ, and I think I'm going to call it. It's a little early, but oil hitting 200. I will talk about that one second. All right, SPY is looking a little a little interesting here, right? Why do I say that? Because we've got some dark bulls at 432 that haven't printed. We've got white line at 431.58, so that's a magnet, right? Prices came down. It filled up these orders, so it went dark bull to dark bull. So 419.50, right? 419.57. Holy sh! It hit 414. That's crazy. So we came down. So we made a new low. The flow index was choppy. I like this dark bull magnet at 432, right? This block came in, hasn't been filled, right? So there's some orders sitting up here waiting to be filled, okay? If the flow index can continue to move up, it's made a high, it made a higher low, it made a higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low possibly. Should be interesting. Let me check out the other algos. All right, dark pool, they're selling. Combined, they're kind of buying. Yeah, pretty decent. And then finally the QQQ, and we'll jump into oil real quick. All right, so with the QQQ, we've got, right, $320. Oh, this one $10 on the money. All right, so we hit 320, right? So we're through all of this. We have a white line at 339.85. We have dark pools at 342 magnet, 338 magnet, right? These blocks, these white dots are orders. These are blocks that came in. If you look at the time, it came in on the 4th at after the close on the 4th, right? So they're just sitting there waiting to be filled. With the flow index pointing down, I think we see another larger downside move on the QQQ. These there will be some of these blocks that need to be filled at some point, but with the overall market just being nasty, oh, what do? We hit that. All right, we hit that skyline and bounced. So on NQ, retraced, skyline bounce, right? We either reject this green line and this green line, or we come up and test the snow line. So below 13,229 on the NQ, short that. Above this, we just, yeah, super choppy. Look at, all right. You wanted to talk about why I think crude won't hit $200 a barrel, and I will show you. Remember this day? I remember this day. $150. June 2008, crude hit 150 a barrel. Yes, that's a fire line. That's a magnet. Absolutely. Are we going to continue to rip on crude? Yes. 130, 132.50, right? Possible retest 150, right? Let's see this move here. Kind of similar to what we're doing now. At $200 a barrel. If they're doing this as the move, right? And they're saying that 127 is 200 a barrel. Don't you think this lines up a little bit better with it? Where's it at? Sorry, I'm trying to get my fib line on there correctly. It's not doing it. $146, possibly. I just think, I mean, yes, it could hit 200. Okay, I'm not saying that it won't, but I think usually when when things go to hit a new all-time high, they don't rip through it the first chance, right? It hits and drops, right? Imagine the drop from 145 to $32 in the course of, and this is why there's a crisis, right? June 30th, 2008 to, a 6-month drop of and crude at $100, like $100 drop in 6 months. It's pretty bad. Yeah, okay. So yeah, it could hit 200. Do I think it's going to hit 200? No, I think we're going to hit, we're going to retest maybe 150, 150. So, all right. All right, I'm looking at shop and then I got to go. Shopify. Not bad. This was our great move last week. Since then, it kind of sold off. 560, huh? Jeez. All right, so I see consolidation, right? I see continued. I see a couple more days of this BS with shop, right? And inside that, there's a mini one. If the flow index can break out and break out of its overhead resistance and make a move back up, then I think I'm just checking some stuff out here. So shop, let's just a lot of pressure. Like so shop long above 575. Right, play that move up to 592. Right. Below below 599 or 559, then we got some issues. But I mean, if we look at the scope of things here, right, the flow index is trying to make a breakout. So it could pull shop up with it. I like safe moves. So really above 577. You're going to be a little bit more aggressive. Above 560. All right, that's it. I got to run. Let's check in on futures one more time, and then I'm out of here. Let's look at it on the 3-minute chart. I've got to get some stuff prepped for my next stream. I got to stream again today. I know it takes a lot out of me. Oh, I jacked that up, didn't I? Three minutes looking pretty decent. Holding the 200 on the YM, the Russell, and the ES. We failed the 200 on the NQ, but we did hold that. We held that line. About to get a 21 cross down, so just pay attention for like the next hour. If we open below the 200 and the 21 crosses down and it brings the 50 down with it, then the skyline at 13,088 will be the magnet. Below that, snow line at 12,862. Okay. All right, gotta run. Thanks for joining me. I will see you all in the chat rooms. Stay safe, stay green, and if you have any questions, reach out to me directly if you'd like. Have a good day. Bye now.